Happy New Year's Eve, everyone. This is Carolyn Marie with Healing NRG. I see one person is there, and the last time I broadcast, I couldn't see anyone, although there were people there. So I apologize if you're commenting and I can't see your name, but welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you, replayers, too. I want to wish you all a very happy New Year's Eve. It's pretty cool. I see the fire behind me with that purple flame. That's pretty surreal. I really dig that. I want to let you know that as a thank you for joining me and being a part of my Healing NRG broadcast this year, I've got some freebies for you today. So stay tuned. I actually am going to be giving away a few copies of my book, which is Dying to Be Well, My Journey with Western Medicine, A Hard Pill to Swallow. And I'll tell you how to get that at the end of the broadcast. I also have some other really cool books, which are John Gray's new book. I have a few of these I'm going to be giving away. And he's the New York Times best-selling artist of the book entitled Men Are from Mars and Women Are from Venus. Now, this particular book is a diet and exercise solution, but it's not just any diet and exercise solution. It's related to emotional wellness, specifically for men and specifically for women, and relationships. So it's a pretty cool giveaway that I'll be adding on at the end of this little fireside chat. And since it's the end of the year, I felt it a good opportunity to reflect on not only emotional health, which is what my specialty is, but going into a little bit of the nutrition and a little bit of natural healing, because many of us at the end of the year reflect on how we'd like to take our physical wellness to another level. So I want to talk to you guys today about some of the things that I think are really important in doing that, along with your mental health and emotional health coupled with nutrition, if that makes sense to you. So I'm going to let you enjoy this beautiful fire. I'm going to set the phone here. Oh, sorry about that. So that you can enjoy this beautiful fire. Thank you, replayers, for being here as I share some natural solutions and speak to you a bit about things that are really rampant in our culture right now around memory and brain performances and natural solutions for ADHD. Now, I was mentioning John Gray. He actually has another book that he published before this, Diet and Exercise Solutions. And hi there, I'm still here. And it's titled Staying Focused in a Hyper World. We sure live in a hyper world with all of our electronics and, computers and cell phones and just all sorts of new gadgets and games, and even our cars talk to us. I was at my friend's house who just installed a little Apple computer, Alexa's. I don't know if you guys know Alexa, who you can talk to, and Alexa will turn things on and off in all different rooms in your house. So, hey, welcome, replayers. It's Carolyn Marie with Healing NRG. I'm just enjoying a little fireside chat here. I wanted to talk to you about brain health, ADHD, and I want to speak to you about some natural ways to combat the oxidative stress that decreases our brain function. And really, the truth is that in 1980, there was only 1 in 10,000 children that were diagnosed with autism. And now in our era, it's more like 1 in 40. So there's something really happening in our environment that we need to be aware of. And we are living in a very toxic environment. Oxidative stress is affecting the brain like nothing else. Every thought, emotion, and reaction in the brain requires energy. And this process of making energy is where free radicals are produced in the brain. We cannot avoid free radical production, But with the right antioxidants, we're talking physical now, with the right antioxidants, we can neutralize these free radicals and prevent oxidative stress. Remember, I'm always speaking about emotional wellness, embracing the emotional process and allowing yourself to drop to your knees, feel the wrong that was done to you, know that the unjust things were unjust, allow yourself to process that truth and let them out. That will also help. Dealing with these physical solutions may also bring up some of the emotional solutions. So I feel that they are a very good marriage, doing both of them together. And those of you that don't know what free radicals and antioxidants are, they're incomplete molecules that look to bond with stable molecules and electrons. So they work together in various ways to sustain good brain health. And John, I was looking at John Gray's notes. He says, I liken this process a little bit to dating, looking for a partner. These incomplete molecules, these free radical molecules, seek each other out. They seek molecules containing electrons to bond with and live happily ever after, which works out fine as long as there are plenty of antioxidants with extra electrons to bond with. So, like the dating process, the free radicals seek out other molecules containing electrons, that are healthy, basically. So, every second the brain is being bombarded with these free radicals, which are caused by nutrient deficiencies. And what I'm going to add on to this is that nutrient deficiencies can be occurring even if we're eating a very good diet, because we're exposed to different oxidative stresses, and they can be in many different arenas in our life. They could be in the air we breathe, they can bring in the water, they can be in products we use on our skin, or toxic nail or makeup, GMO foods, soy, relationships. Toxic people creates oxidative stress. Toxic relationships can absolutely decrease your physical health. So I'm going to go over a few of these in this chat, and then I'm going to give you a freebie on how you can go and download, or actually you can email me and I will send you a PDF file on a workbook that will give you lots of tips on how to heal your body from oxidative stress, okay? So that's one of my gifts to you today, and you'll be able to decrease your exposure to these free radicals and increase your production of antioxidants, knowing what foods can do it, knowing what things to get out of your lifestyle and diet, lifestyle and environment to help heal yourself from these impairments, okay? For those of you that don't know what ADHD is, it's one of the most common neurodevelopment disorders, and it's diagnosed in children and teens. Typically, compared to girls, symptoms of ADHD are twice as common in boys. And autism, which often goes hand in hand with ADHD, occurs 5 times in boys. The Center of Disease Control reports that 1 out of 42 boys have autistic spectrum disorder, which is shocking and tragic because just 30 years ago it was only 1 in 10,000. So something is clearly happening in our environment today that is creating this destructive disorder. Without practical drug-free solutions, we needlessly spend our lives coping with the hidden traumas of ADHD and the results of the drugs that are being used to manage the symptoms rather than heal the underlying problem. Modern brain scans can now detect clear differences in HDHD brain versus the non-HDH brain. So HDHD is not just laziness or an excuse for poor performance. It is not just in the head, but it is literally in the brain. It is now proven to be measurable physical impairment of normal brain function caused by oxidative stress. Now, in these young children, this oxidative stress could have been passed on through the umbilical cord, through the parent's DNA, because there are things in our environment that over time are changing all of us. So there are lots of things happening here. Thank you, replayers. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate you. Fireside chat with Prana Girl, Carolyn Marie, and Healing Energy. Our topic today is health, the physical body, really looking at brain health and ADHD, oxidative health, how oxidative stress ages the body, affects the brain, and also diet and nutrition going into the new year. Have some free giveaways for you guys, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit, how to get that. And so I am just going to move on. We were right now talking about ADHD and how it's not a laziness, that we have studies that are absolutely proving that there are differences in the brain, and that actual violence and criminal behavior is now directly linked to lead poisoning in the brains. Also, there's numerous research studies linking sugar consumption to the symptoms of ADHD. And the reason for this is in a healthy environment where we're not bombarded with these antioxidants and these pollutants, we can handle normal amounts of natural sugar and fructose sugar and fruits and so forth. But because of these extra stressors, it is affecting not only our brain, but our gut and mold in the body and all sorts of other symptoms that normally our immune system would be able to combat. But because of these other elements, which I'm discussing now and will lead you to in a bit further research on, we don't have the immune strength to do what we used to. So we need to really be educated and really be aware and really begin to start to remove these things from our lifestyle, from our home, from our environment, from our relationships, from our consumption, and from our behaviors. So yes, the sugar, they postulate that sugar acutely increases dopamine, which over time leads to a reduction in dopamine receptors. And with this downregulation of the dopamine receptors, that can alone cause ADHD. And what happens is then the kids will ingest more sugar in an attempt to compensate for the inhibited dopamine function. So that's something to be aware of if you have children or if you are someone who feels this is happening to you. Stress also. Chronic psychological stress induced by excessive punishment, loss, disapproval, violation, or threat raises stress hormones, which in turn cause oxidative stress in the brain. The chronic production of stress hormones inhibits the production of glutathione, which is your body's master molecule for minimizing oxidative stress. Various forms of childhood or adult trauma can raise your cortisol set point, in which turn sustains higher blood sugar levels, causing even more oxidative stress in the brain. Glutathione is unbelievable. So you might want to look into supplementing that as something that can help prevent your inability to deal with stress, also just to really boost your immune system and help your mood and your brain health. Glutathione is amazing. You can get that at your local health food store. They also have, if you have a naturopath, they have really great IV supplements that will inject it right into the bloodstream. It doesn't have to go through the digestive system. So that is also something that I have done, and I have felt amazing results from. Just amazing. So I would highly recommend looking into that. Now, what a lot of medical doctors do is they will provide or they will prescribe stimulant drugs, and in an attempt to override other priorities. But even low doses of stimulant drugs have repeatedly shown to increase oxidative stress in the brain. So actually what they are attempting to do in the HDH child is actually creating more of the underlying problem that it's designed to remove symptoms from. So it becomes a hamster wheel. So these stimulants, which are drugs, or if they're stimulants such as video games, or stimulants such as sugar, or stimulants such as even pornography, they're saying is like heroin to the brain. And all of these things are becoming addictive components of our society because it is a rampant underlying illness that is taking over. And instead of going into what the root cause of the illness is, we're looking at ways to kind of make us feel better fast. So that's why part of why I decided to do this little talk as we're entering into a new year, is to help people be educated on what's going on, not only with your own health, but those of your family members, those of your loved ones that may be dealing with some of these things, so that we can begin to remove some of these elements that are actually causing more harm when we think or feel that they're helping us. So for video games, for an example, while this sounds amazing, everyone who takes a stimulant drug like cocaine, caffeine, or methamphetamines, speed, will also experience improved memory, increased creativity, and faster decision-making abilities. Violent video games, like stimulant drugs, will temporarily improve ADHD symptoms. Like drugs, however, they will also create long-term brain injuries. So be aware that playing violent video games has a similar effect on the brain as taking any stimulant drug, including doctor-prescribed Ritalin or Adderall. And researchers at the Indiana University using brain scans reported that playing violent video games alters brain function in healthy young men after just 1 week of playing. Depressing activity among regions associated with emotional control in the brain. And other studies have found an association between compulsive gaming and being overweight, introverted, and also prone to depression. So what ends up happening is that often leads into online pornography, and a Dutch study found that erotica had the highest addictive potential of all the internet applications, even beyond the video games. A study using brain scans at Cambridge University in England found that pornography addiction leads to the same brain activity as alcoholism or drug abuse, and that online pornography and non-personal sex can stimulate massive dopamine levels, and like any addictive drug, this intense increase of dopamine will change the brain by downregulating dopamine receptors. This downregulation requires increased stimulation to provide normal levels of sexual functioning. Welcome, replayers. We're talking about brain health. We're talking about ADHD. We're talking about oxidative stress on the brain and on the body, free radicals, which causes disease in the body, and how we can naturally remove elements in our lifestyle and elements in our diet and elements in our relationships to help heal us and prevent any further oxidative damage, and also remove what we've already taken on and get ourselves back to health, healthy bodies, healthy emotions, and healthy relationships in 2017. Who's down with that? Yay! Let's do it. Let's do it. So we were talking about some of the stimuli that takes place in a hyper world, and we were talking about video games and internet porn, and how internet porn to the brain is like heroin. And during normal intimate sexual intercourse, the body releases 4 times more prolactin than from masturbation. That means with a normal, healthy partner, love relationship, physical, one-on-one copulation, the body releases 4 times more prolactin than from masturbation. So this increased prolactin is associated with sexual satiety in both men and women, which is why in a normal physical relationship, you can go a little bit, it's not as much like a drug, but that does not happen with pornography. So it's called it's the natural undone signal. The low prolactin levels associated with masturbation or internet porn provide the unique ability to override the signal, so you don't get the I'm done signal. And as a result, the internet porn can lead to a blunting of interest in sex, with a real partner, and increased desire for more porn. So these are things to be aware of, and you can go do more research on this subject. But also, welcome replayers, welcome. Please follow me. We'll be talking about a lot more health and healing topics, natural health, natural healing, how to do this yourself, how not to abdicate your will to others to heal you, to take responsibility for our own health, for our own emotional wellness, for our own physical wellness. And I'm here to help educate you on ways to do that. So antibiotics, pesticides, plastics, and GMOs are also a very dangerous, they are very dangerously in our environment that results in oxidative stress as well. We need to be aware of how they kill the healthy gut bacteria and overpopulate the unhealthy gut bacteria, which also does not help with ADHD and autism and can create excessive candida, and so on and so forth. So there are many other there are healing therapies that you can do, and I am going to now tell you my first giveaway, which is I have a 250-page how-to manual that I will email you if you go to healingnrg.org and you subscribe for my list. I will gift you a PDF, a 250-page PDF that includes healing oxidative stress treatments and how-tos on more in-depth subject review of what I was explaining on brain health and oxidative stress and how to heal from it, and what different foods you can add to your diet, what to avoid as far as emotional stimulations, and how to increase your libido and stamina, your natural testosterone for men, and women's hormone balancing, how to thicken your hair, because there are studies that show, especially with that one hormone I was mentioning that occurs naturally with healthy relationship. Hey, Jake, thanks for being here. Healthy relationship copulation, that I'm done hormone that is produced when you don't have that hormone. There are studies that link actually Happy New Year, Jake. Thanks for being here. Thanks for all the heart and love. You came at the right time. I was just telling people how they can get some free giveaways. I have a 250-page manual that is by my dear friend John Gray that will help those who are looking to have better brain health and physical health in the new year. I'm willing to send that to you. So go to my website, healingnrg.org, and I'll send that to you. Also, for the first few subscribers, I have 3 copies of John Gray's new book, which is really awesome, especially now in the new year. So many people want to lose weight and get healthier. I have 3 free copies of this. If you go to healingnrg.org, I have the Mars and Venus Diet and Exercise Solution, and it is on the topic that I was discussing today, creating the brain chemistry of health, happiness, and lasting romance. Understand how men and women gain and lose weight differently. Discover how foods affect your mood and relationships. Gain unending energy and sustain passion for a lifetime. This is from the New York Times best-selling author, John Gray. He's a friend of mine. We actually have similar passions and desires, and we took a course together on our MS-2000, which is a grounding mat that also helps us remove this oxidative stress. So I have 3 of these. Go to healingnrg.org and subscribe to my email list. Also, for those of you, a Happy New Year gift to me, I have 3 copies of my book, Healing NRG. It's Dying to Be Well, My Journey with Western Medicine, A Hard Pill to Swallow. This is my book of how I was fighting for my life, hooked up to life support by abdicating my will. Thanks, Jake, for saying it's a good story. Abdicating my will for 10 years to Western medicine. And what that did for me was almost took my life. And when I made the decision to stay in this physical body, everything changed. So that's what this story is about. It's a great combination here. I want to just wish you all a very happy new year. It's been quite a 2016. We've lost so many celebrities and loved ones in 2016. And I feel if there's any upside to what's going on, I feel awareness that there absolutely is no death, and we have the ability to know that more in a public way as those of us that have a spiritual practice and alignment begin to share more on that topic. And I just want to wish you all a very happy and healthy and prosperous new year. Thank you, replayers. Thank you, Jake. Lots of love to you. Congratulations on all your success. I see you out there in Periscope land as well. So until next year, this is Carolyn Marie with Healing Energy. Lots of love. Bye-bye.